Oh, I hope this isn't real. I hope to God this isn't real. I hope this is just some nonsense that the internet spits out for traction. I hope this isn't real, because if it is real, it really shows us how far PlayStation have fallen. So let me tell you, look, we all know about the legendary IPs. We know that PlayStation, for some reason that no one can quite wrap their head around, we know that PlayStation are sitting on a gold mine of IPs that for one reason or another, they just refuse to revive. They just leave them there, just dying, just left to disappear into myth and legend. Like, it's like they didn't exist at all at this point. I mean, games like Psyops, bruv. Come on, man. Games like Infamous. Remember how great Infamous was when it came out? Twisted Metal, bruv. Siphon Filter. Dino Crisis. They're sat on just a sea, a tsunami of games, and they just don't do anything with them. So anyway, there's this news, and again, I don't know how real this news is, right? I'm hoping to God it's not real. I hope to God it's not real. Apparently, none other than Insomniac Games pitched to Sony a sequel to Resistance, which would act as like a bit of a reboot. Right? They wanted to bring Resistance back. If you don't know what Resistance is, then you're not a PlayStation fan, okay? Resistance was the shit on PS3, bruv. We had Killzone 2 and we had Resistance. And Resistance, oh, it was good. Resistance was so good, man. I didn't feel no FOMO for Gears of War because I had fucking Resistance. And Resistance was great. And it's where? Where is it? We've had the whole PS4 generation, nothing. We're in PS5 now. Why not PlayStation? Why? Where is Killzone? Why? Where is it? So many games, man. Do you remember? Look, remember the game Bouncer on PS2? Great fighting game. Where is it? Maybe it's time for a Bouncer 2, bruv. Do you remember that game Ready to Rumble? That really fun boxing game? We'll take another one. We'll take a Ready to Rumble 3. Give us round 3, bro. Look, I'm missing tons because I'm going off the top of my head right now. But there's so many PlayStation. You guys don't understand. For those of you who've been on Xbox and not really paid attention to PlayStation, the passion we have for these IPs. There's so many of them. Siphon Filter is goated. It was great. The PlayStation back then, it was weird. Everything was very Japanese. So, you know what I mean? Like, Tenchu Stealth Assassin, where is it? Everything was so Japanese, it was awesome. Everything had a quirk to it. Every game had this bizarreness to it that solidified it as a Sony title, right? There was quite a few of them. But games like Twisted, I love Twisted Metal, man. Twisted Metal was my jam. I just don't understand. If I was in charge of Sony, I'd be taking that budget, right? And I'd be reviving all this shit. Because it's unfortunate, it's unfair, it's cruel that these amazing games, which were made with so much passion and creativity, are just left. They're just dying, man. And PlayStation are just letting them die. You had Blue Point Games, bruv. Blue Point Games working on a God of War MMO. Are you mental? They could have been reviving any of these games. That's what they do. They take old games, they revive them into the modern era. Why didn't you give them one? They have 10 studios right now doing absolutely nothing. Sat there twiddling their little thumbs. Meanwhile, PlayStation fanboys are all screaming that the PlayStation's a place to be because what? If it wasn't for Xbox, you'd have no games to play this year, man. I just don't get it. I don't. The idea that they said no to Resistance really pisses me off. Like, I don't know what's going on, man, with Sony. Imagine buying Blue Point Games and giving them a fucking live service game. Can you imagine that? Imagine that. So Blue Point Games are working on nothing right now. Absolutely nothing. I bet they regret the day they signed on that dotted line, don't they? Sony needs to start sorting their heads out. Because, believe it or not, I'm still a Sony fan. I have some deep love for that PS2 era, man. That PS1, PS2 era, I loved that. Some of my best experiences ever was on the PS2. I absolutely adored that generation. Everything that came out hit, and hit so well. I remember playing the OG DMC, man. It came with a demo for Metal Gear Solid 2, and it was great. As was the demo. It was great. I remember playing Silent Hill 2 when it came out. Soul Reaver 2 when it came out. Just so many games that came out that generation, man. And they all slapped. I remember being blown away by the hair physics on Ready to Rumble. See what I mean? I remember the original Killzone and thinking it was one of the best things ever. It's just Killzone 2 blowing me completely away. Back then, look, when the PS3 came out, and Killzone 2 came out, up until that point, nothing had been like Killzone 2, bruv. Killzone 2 looked absolutely astronomically better than any other game. It was a graphical showcase. It was brilliant, my guy. Look, I know I'm a bit, I just don't know what to say. I just feel like I don't know what they're doing, man. They are sat on a lot of games that they just won't bring back. And it's confusing to me, man. It really confuses me. I don't understand why. I don't understand the plan, the strategy behind it. And I don't get why more PlayStation fans aren't calling them out on this shit. I mean, look at Bloodborne, for example. PlayStation do not care about you. They do not give a shit about you. How many people have been begging for Bloodborne? Where is it? Nothing. They don't care, man. It's just sad. It saddens me. Because the games, man, on the PS2 era were so good. They were so good. Do you remember playing Devil May Cry 3? Do you remember how mad that was? Anyway, I'm ranting, so I'm going to stop ranting now and I'm going to go. But yeah, I hope...